Shawn Sweeney, Lake City boys basketball coach, joins me now on high school headquarters. Coach, really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now let's go back to Saturday a little bit. It was a very tight game between you and the 2-seed Rochester Lourdes. 44-43 victory to win the Section 1AA West. What were some of the keys to that victory for your team?
There was no question that defense was going to be a key, and Lourdes has a very good defensive team as well, and we thought that the possessions would be of utmost importance throughout the game, and they turned out to be. They were. We figured the game would be in the teens at the half. It was 17 all. We thought it'd be in the low 40s at the end. It was, and we feel very fortunate to come out on top.
It seemed like kind of an old-fashioned game. Would you say it was kind of that way?
Very much so, that both teams valued the possessions and made multiple passes before shots were attempted. It was very clear to us in our preparation. We knew what they were going to run offensively. We knew we had to get out and contest the shots. We knew we needed to keep track of where Daly was on the floor, and we did a great job of that. He did not score in the second half. He had 4 points for the game. A very good player at 6'5", and he could play inside and out, and we did a good job of contesting the shots, and he was very frustrated. And then the other player, Gregerson, for him, is our second leading scorer. He had 2 threes in the first half, hit 1 3 in the second half, finished with 9 points, about 6 below his average. So I was very pleased defensively with the effort that we were able to check those 2 guys, basically saying we're going to make somebody else beat them. Lourdes, on the other hand, hey, we're going to keep track of Beck, and we're going to make somebody else do. Well, we had 4 guys. Marcus Jacobson, our junior guard, had 12. Joe ended up with 10, including the game winner. And then Kurt Brown and Nick Bob, our other 2 frontline guys, had 9. So to have 4 guys hovering right around double digits was very much a key for us on the offensive end.
When I was talking with Marcus after the game, he told me that the opposing defenses are really focused on Joe in the paint. It really opens up guys around the perimeter. Is that kind of the situation with those guys scoring near double figures?
Well, yes, because the one thing about Joe that people don't realize is what a great passer he is for a big guy. He's 6'7", and you'd think, hey, when the ball goes into him, he's going to score every time, and he's not looking to give it up. And he's second on our team in assists on the season, which is very deceptive. And he is a good passer, and he is willing to give up the ball. And when your top scorer is that high on your assists, you know you got a team guy, and he very much is a team guy.
And I want to go back to your defense a little bit. You guys held Lourdes to 6 of 24 shooting from 3. They just had 8 field goals inside the arc. And in the 3 playoff games you guys have played, you've held your opponents to 29% shooting. Why has your zone been so effective?
Because our kids are working their tail off in the zone, and they've bought into what their assignment is, and they know who the people are for the opponent. I mean, we've done our homework, and we know who they want shooting, and we're basically saying, hey, we're going to take this away, and we're willing to give you this. And if option C doesn't work for you, you're going to be in for a tough night. And our defense is what's kept us in games all year long. I mean, we have, 9 losses on the year, but go ahead and look at the spread in those 9 games. We lost 3 games in a row before Christmas to La Crescent, Byron, and Lourdes, ironically. Lourdes by 14, La Crescent by 11, and Byron by 10, and we've beaten 2 of those 3, and La Crescent was the opponent to Pem in the other subsection championship game. So, and then the rest of the losses are all tight. They're 3 or less, and we had a stretch where our offense was semi-dysfunctional. We didn't shoot well. We didn't make the extra pass. We didn't play unselfishly, and we're doing all those things now, and that's been the difference. And defensively, if you go back to the beginning of the year, and I know you ran an article and had interviewed Joe, and said, well, what's the strength of your team? Defense, because that's what we like to do. And we knew coming into the game that Lourdes would force us, because of their offensive patience, to play defense for big blocks of time. I go, that plays right into our hands. So that's what we like to do. So, and we've gotten better, like I say, offensively, and if we have the ball and make more passes, then the other team's got to play defense for more than 2 seconds, and it's not a come down and jack up a shot and you miss, and then we race to the other end. And Plainview likes to play up tempo, and we're not going to win any track meet. We know that, but we do have an opportunity to win a basketball game if we can keep it in the half court.
Switching gears, if we can go to the game on Thursday, you guys play the top seed from the East bracket, Plainview, Elgin, Millville. Trip to state on the line. What do you expect going into that game?
I expect that we should be able to get up through warm-up without turning over the ball. After that, I can't promise anything. Actually, with all seriousness, we're looking forward to the challenge of the game, and all the pressure's on Plainview because they're supposed to win it. They're 27-2. They're number 2 team in the state. People already got them in playing for the state title, and they do have a very good team, and they press buzzer to buzzer, and they put up some big scores this year, and so it'll be a real test for our defense. And we know that we got to take care of the ball against the press. We've been doing a better job of that lately, and we want to be patient on offense and get the shot that we want to get, not just be in a rush to put one up and try to keep them out of the transfer of the transition game.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier that they're a team that likes to get out and run a little bit. I thought in the last game against Rochester Lourdes that you guys really controlled the pace of play and played to how you guys wanted the game to play. Is that something key with this game too?
Well, most certainly. We in the second half against Lourdes, we did a very good job of that, and that was the difference in the ball game. That's how we were able to win it. And we know we have to be able to do that against Plainview, whether we can or not, because of their depth and their quickness and their overall athleticism remains to be seen, but that's the challenge that lies out there.
One more question, we'll get you out of here. I imagine the whole town of Lake City is going to be there in Rochester on Thursday. It seems to me like this community is really into the basketball program. Is that true? Have you heard a lot of things in the community and how excited they are for you guys?
Well, we just try to go about our business and stay grounded, and the people in the community have been supportive of the basketball program. This is my 31st year here, and there are a lot of basketball junkies in the community, and some people have wrote us off when we stumbled and lost the Blue Division title. We had a chance to win that, of course, won by Cannon Falls, and I distinctly remember one of my players, whose name will go unmentioned, in the locker room after the game against Cannon, a 57-54 loss that took us out of that chance to win the Blue. And he said, well, they may have won the Blue, but they haven't won the section title yet. And look at that, here we are 3 weeks later. So that was a good omen, and it's a credit to our kids how hard they've worked and how they've come together down the stretch, and we are playing our best right now. And if our best isn't good enough, then so be it, and throw the ball up, and we're going to come at you and scratch and claw and do what we need to do, and hopefully run her to the wire, because I think if it's a tight game and it stays tight, that definitely favors us, for the simple reason that they'll feel more pressure of, hey, we're not blowing these guys out like we've done to everybody else. And they've only had they have 2 losses, and they were in the Rotary tournament when their point guard was hurt, and he's very good. And but they've had some other tight games within 10 or 11. Otherwise, especially down the stretch in the playoffs, they've routed everybody, and they're capable of doing that, and we realize that. And just hope we get an A+ game out of all our guys, and we'll have a shot.
Coach, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.